And joining us today is a former USC and Pittsburgh quarterback. You can find him on X, Instagram, and live on TikTok every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Seriously, guys, the content that he pumps out on the socials, especially during the season, is just remarkable. The other day, he gave us a taste of the latest video out on YouTube where he dives into one question for every single Power Four quarterback. It was, stuff for the sickos out there. He's a current lead college football analyst at ESPN for the ACC network. Max Brown, welcome into the show.
What's up, fellas? I appreciate you watching that video. That was a beast to make, all 35 minutes of content. But if you're a quarterback hardo and a college football hardo, I'll put my rep on the line that you'll like that video.
Absolutely, Max. And yeah, we obviously wanted to have you on because we definitely respect your ball knowledge. But like Tyler said, I'll echo what he said, man. You're a great follow on social media, and just the ball knowledge that you have, and obviously, your experience and stuff. It's just incredible, man. So we appreciate you, and it's an honor to have you on our show here, man. And let's dive right into the ACC here, bro. The odds-on favorites, the two odds-on favorites to win the ACC are Clemson at plus 110 odds right now, and Miami at plus 400. Let's start with old Dabo and Clemson. I mean, they've won 8 of the last 10 ACC championships. Obviously, it starts with Cade Klubnik. I mean, last year, I felt like he was the most improved player, period, all in college football compared to what he did in 2023 and the jump that he made in 2024. It was year 2 in Garrett Riley's system. Now it's year 3 in Garrett Riley's system. He's got that ridiculous trio of wide receivers. It looks like they're probably going to be going maybe with a freshman tailback and Gideon Davidson, but they've also got Adam Randall, who they converted over from wide receiver. Offensive line, I said this last year, Max. I thought one of the most underrated hires that maybe nationally didn't get talked about enough because it wasn't a coordinator, it wasn't a head coach, was the offensive line hire of Matt Luke. And it paid dividends like immediately. That offensive line for Clemson did get better as the year went on. I think what they're bringing back this year, again, with Matt Luke back on the O-line, I really like what this Clemson offense going to look like. On defense, I mean, man, that front seven is just nasty. The defensive line, I mean, they've got multiple former 5-stars. You look at NFL mock drafts, they've got multiple guys that are obviously listed on, all these mock drafts. Bringing in Tom Allen as defensive coordinator, again, it's an incredible hire. So, Max, my question for you with this Clemson team is, we obviously realize that like winning the ACC is a big deal, and for Dabo and Clemson, but is this team truly a national championship contender again, like we were used to with Clemson and Dabo for many years?
They are. Like, this is the year Clemson's been building towards. Like, those that are just tapping in, like I saw Pat McAfee went on his show yesterday and was like, I forgot, Clemson's now, back in the conversation. Well, the college football sickos like us have only been hearing about Clemson the entire offseason. Like, they're not sneaking up on anybody. But, like, this is the year they've been building towards. And that's not just like lip service. Like, if you literally look at how old their roster is, it's a lot of guys that have been starting for 2-3 years. And now they're no longer young guys that are coming into their own. They're the upperclassmen that have had double-digit starts. And, they're playing together. And it's been well documented that they haven't gone into the transfer portal. And so it's like that homegrown talent. So, like, this is the window. Like, if the Dabo, for all intents and purposes, anti-transfer portal mentality is going to work, it's got to come through this year. Yep. You mentioned it. A lot of it comes back onto Cade Klubnik and what he can be and the big recruit that he once was. But I love their defense. Your point about the offensive line's well taken, again, especially as they all become even more as that notch older. To me, I do think, and I always am hesitant of like, a lot of people are saying Drew Aller and Cade Klubnik as like, hey, they're going to be the top 2 guys in the NFL draft. Well, I remember, and I was never on the Carson Beck train, and you can check the content, the receipts of the content, but it felt like everyone was on the Carson Beck train this time last year. And now the dude's not even a top 10 returning quarterback in college football. Like, people were saying this time last year, he was going to be the top overall pick. And I wonder and worry if we're anointing a guy like a Cade Klubnik or anointing a guy like a Drew Aller into that spot before they've actually shown it on the field. Because Cade Klubnik is a really good college quarterback. But I do think his legs get him out of – he relies on his legs a lot in money downs. So third downs, fringe red zone, when you got to score. And I think that works when you're playing against Virginia or you're playing against, I called their game last year versus the Citadel, or You know, he had that big scamper that allowed them to take or break away in that Pitt game last year that people will remember. I know this isn't an NFL conversation. This is a 2025 college football conversation, but I think he needs to take a full step from a operating within the pocket as a pocket passer. He's not going to be able to lean on a veteran running back like he did last year. To your point about the true freshman getting in there. So I do think Cade has the ability and the talent to tap into another level of ceiling, but he is the best returning college quarterback on paper, but I still think he's got another step to go and can get there to be in that NFL top 5 draft pick, QB number 1 conversation.
Yeah, and two, the receiving core, like really the ingredients that this Clemson team has, like those Dabo Clemson teams that was competing for championships, and they always had dudes on the perimeter on the outside. They always had a nasty defensive line, obviously, when Brent Venables was the DC, and they were wreaking havoc in the backfield. They constantly, year after year, were like leading the country in tackles for a loss, QB pressures, all of that. And they've got all those types of ingredients. But I agree with you. Like, I need to see Klubnik do it in the bigger games against the best competition. Again, like you made the comparison, kind of like mentioned him, Drew Aller. It's obviously the same thing with him as well. That's the jury with him at Penn State, is those bigger games. Because again, we're not talking about Clemson now just winning the ACC. We're talking about at the national championship level. And obviously the elite type teams are the ones that Clemson's going to have to beat to be able to do that. We're going to get to win totals here in a little bit. Like, I've actually heard somebody say this the other day, and it does make sense. I kind of like Clemson at plus 110 to win the ACC. I think getting them at plus money to win the ACC when they won it 8 out of the last 10 years, I actually like that more than their win total of 9.5, because they play LSU obviously right out of the gate. That's going to be a hell of a game in Death Valley. They play on the road at South Carolina at the end of the year, and in conference they play at Louisville. And I'm not saying they're going to lose all 3 of those games. That's 3 really tough games. And that doesn't even include the rest of their schedule. If they were to stub their toes somewhere else, they could go 9-3 in the regular season and still win the ACC, because 2 of their losses could be in the non-conference. I think it's a better look at looking at Clemson at plus 110 personally.
I'm with you. I mean, look no further than last year, right? They get blown out week 1. Everyone forgets about them for 2 months. And then they pop up in November like, oh, crap, these guys might have something. And then that South Carolina win helps them get over the hump. And the same thing could happen this year, like a worst case scenario. I know Clemson fans are thinking, no, we need to beat LSU week 1 and that whole thing. But yeah, you don't get Miami. You don't get Pitt, which I think is a sneaky ACC team. Obviously you get Georgia Tech and people like Louisville as well. And Florida State, I don't think will be as easy of an out last year, but I'm with you. I like that line. I mean, Clemson, a team, would you have Clemson at those odds to win the conference or the field? I'd probably take Clemson even at that mark. Especially if it's against Miami. Like, Miami scares me a lot more than Clemson. I like that take. By it.
Man, can't thank you enough. This has been a blast. Thank you for coming on. Let the people know where they can find you once again. Maybe give us a little sneak peek of your schedule. Like, where are we going to see you and the crew, during the first couple weeks of the season this year?
Yeah, I'll have, I guess I'm not allowed to say. So stay tuned for the press release. I'll be in HBC country week 1. I don't know if they've come out with that yet. So it's not me just being too cool for school for you guys. But yeah, I'm on all the social channels. Level up the YouTube in a big way the past 4 or 5 months. So excited to bring that to in-season content, which I've never done on a consistent basis outside of 6-7 years ago, but then active on Instagram and TikTok as well. So find me there, posting content. I'll be every single day during the football season.
Awesome, man. Guys, appreciate you guys listening, watching, tuning in. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Make sure you go subscribe, like the show, comment, follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok. We love the banter back and forth like you guys are giving to us here. We got, 10 days till season starts. So we're ever so close to college football. For Max Brown and Lance Barton, I'm Tyler Noe. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next time.